Hi guys. So I mentioned about some of the stuff that's going on spiritual with some of the spiritual attacks, all that sort of stuff, spiritual warfare. So a couple things. So one of the people I already mentioned, Brian Jacobs. Okay, Brian Jacobs is a he's a gay massage therapist, yin yoga instructor. He is. That's who he is. His wife is an acupuncturist. They own Park Integrative, or they rent it. I believe they rent that, and then they have partners with it. She's from Boyle, Alberta. And then you have Chelsea Smith there, who is, I think she works part time at Moto Yoga in Sherwood Park. She likes to call herself Mama Bear. Has two daughters. Has a partner named Spencer, who she also got involved in pulling some shit. She herself is a yoga instructor. She was doing dark witchcraft. Brandon's wife was doing dark witchcraft. He was doing stuff. There was some black magic that was used. I'll throw this in at one point. Then you have Jack Milik, also instructors. So these are people that are just like yoga instructors. Or Brandon also has a kid. They have a kid, and they're still pulling this stuff. Jacqueline Mulick, she tried to hurt people's sleep with that. She was involved in that. So was Brandon. So was Chelsea Smith. So was Heather. So there's some stuff there. I'm just mentioning this because I'm just going to start listing more of stuff what they are. So I had to say it that way because I said before in another post when I said about Brandon, if someone's going to take the level shots they pull towards me, I'm going to make sure I'm going to go, okay, here's who they are. Here's who they are. All I'm doing is listing who they are, what I've seen, okay? So that's there. Joan Lisborg, she is Swedish. She is a fairy. And I'm saying this because it's kind of ridiculous when I say it, okay? She's Swedish. She's a fairy. She's taken a couple months. She's taken months courses or in schooling to be an herbalist. She tries to be dark witch. She even has pictures. I don't know if I want to post the one. She just looks evil in it. Okay, I need to turn a light on. She looks evil in it. And so she says she's an herbalist. Okay, so she's selling certain supplements. But then she's a drug dealer. So most of the money that she's getting is from dealing drugs. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So it came to her, and what came to her? Darkness told her. It was said to her psychically that she could move, quote, move pounds of drugs a month. She told me this in person. This was in BC, Vancouver Island, and then she's been doing this for I don't know how many years, selling pounds of drugs to pay for. She lives in an apartment, I believe, with a couple roommates. Says she's an herbalist, but really she uses that, but she's dealing drugs. Most of the money she's making is from drug dealing. Her partner for this is Tarek Beebe. So he is a coach out of Ontario, out of Toronto, and yeah, he's her partner for drug dealing. Yeah, so she's out there. I've already she's out there. Yeah, okay. So I've got some of that. Amber Colbert. Amber Colbert. This one might be pretty rough, but okay. Amber Colbert is on medical EI. She has issues with swallowing. She has issues with she had a pain shot, a cane, issues with, what was it, too, with colitis. She was worried she had colitis again. I think there was depression. What else was in there? She had there was a bunch of stuff she was dealing with. I saw her, she went out to the abyss, and she was lost in the abyss. I'll have to explain the abyss another time. So, going through that stuff, I saw her in darkness, went into darkness, and I already described how she was with her boyfriend, that it was full-on abusive with them. And she and Jillian have a pattern of being abusive sexually with men. They want to kind of hurt the guy in some way, try to get him to give up power. So that's stuff they were doing. Okay, Elise Renouf. Okay. Oh, the only reason I found out about this one is my sister worked with her, and she was complaining that she had a hard time making it through the day, her sleep issues. She was having to use microdoses of LSD. They're buying off the dark web. Her husband, Scott, lives out there with her. He was buying the drugs off the dark web. She would microdose it to make it through the day. She was balding like a guy at the front of her head. She was using a headband to cover this, okay? She has pelvic floor issues, so things down there, okay? There's one issue. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. hey, if people abuse me, I will go right into it. Balding, that was going on. She had depression, anxiety, postpartum depression she gave herself. Do not feel sorry when I'm saying depression, anxiety for people that have, I'll explain, okay? When somebody has given themselves postpartum depression because they have abused men with witchcraft. She was trying to make guys' eyes burn. She did this to people, guys in her past. Found this out later. She has offered her son up to be raped around 4 times, pulled different stuff like that. Yep, took runs at my bumper in souk potholes with someone in the passenger seat. And if people go, and I understand there is the whole like, oh, the cause and effect. Okay, and if they're hearing this, like, well, why did they? Okay, Jillian pulled attacks at me after I did energy healing on her. She just did it. So did the one in souk. Just did it. Amber Colbert, I was in the middle of having a group attack at me. She hopped in and started attacking me. And I went, what the fuck is going on? I hopped in the shower the one day. She tried to connect to my foot and entangle with it and mess with my foot. Tried to like poke at my back and bully. This is stuff where people have gone right into darkness and they're acting kind of like fucking crazy. Brandon Jacobs, I already said before, I got threatened by him when I was at the airport coming back from a funeral from a grandparent. My dad was shaking in a wheelchair at the time because he didn't have his Parkinson's meds. So we had to have that. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, it's like 10 o'clock at night. My mom's there, like, oh my God, we need to like get your father home. And I'm like, oh my God, just lost a grandparent. And there he projects right at me and starts threatening me. And I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, I mean, these are who some of these people are. I'm going to tell people who they are. Jacqueline Mulek, on behalf of Chelsea Smith, projected like she was going to give me a blowjob. And then it was going to redirect towards Chelsea. Okay, so their intent, and I said another video, was going to be get me interested in her and then try to turn around and try to hurt me. I said it in another video. I even heard it and wrote it down. Like, well, how bad do you want me to say something? Paraphrasing. And I'm kind of like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So she has taken part in spiritual bullying. And she did gaslighting towards me in an email where she lied about who she was through Modo. She works at Modo Yoga at Sherwood Park. She also works at Meta in Edmonton, and then she works at the one that used to be Yoga for Today. Chelsea Smith works at Meta in Edmonton. She also works at Modo Yoga at Sherwood Park. I believe she might still be the manager there. Brandon Jacobs and his wife, they own Park Integrative. They also have a friend, Jen, that was teaching yin at Modo, and she did dark witchcraft towards me. So a bunch of these people are pulling this stuff, then they're throwing revision in there, and they've even had to try times where they make it look like, or wanted to get joking around back and forth to look that way, and even have other people like, oh, see, like there's a read, and then wanted to like nudge at me to try to take shots at them while they tried to push abuse later at night. So you'd go to lay down, and stuff would try to come at you. Lisa Renouf has tried to cut people's genitals psychically, energetically. She has tried to make guys' eyes burn. Oh God, what's the other stuff? I actually have a full other YouTube where I discussed like a lot more about stuff they pulled. My sister and her husband, he was a chef, okay? He was working as a chef on Vancouver Island, Royal Roads. He was the head chef there. They left because they didn't feel safe. The guy's name is Kentucky. He lives downtown Victoria. He's an attempted rapist, okay? This guy is. And he used to work at Souk Point. And the one in Souk, Elise Renouf has lied about being raped in their past. For 4 years, the two of them have been doing spiritual warfare towards me. Yep. Like full on saw my dad being leaned on the astral plane when he was in the garage. I believe he was going to be doing woodworking or something, working on his vehicle. By that one downtown Victoria. He works in real estate, used to work at Souk Point. He's in his 40s. He's tall, really loves Dave Asprey. I believe he was around some of Dave Asprey's coffee shop. He loves Health Essentials is the one store out there he liked. I believe Lifestyle Market. He'd be in around that stuff. So people need to know about him. They need to know about the one in Souk. I've already spoken to Langford Police about the one in Souk. There's a button. Oh yeah, talked about the thing about she took runs in my vehicle. Made sure they knew about that. This has been about 4 years of stuff, and yeah, Jillian has gone straight into darkness. I've had multiple people say that she just looked evil when I showed them her picture. I'm like, okay, here's a picture, and these are people that are no energy healing. and they look and like, oh my god, like she looks. Multiple people said she looked evil, and I said the same thing of I saw it. That's gotta go. And I saw it, and I kind of like what the fuck when she met Tarek Bibi. Okay, I don't know if I'll mention it, but how to describe it? I was there doing energy reads for her on Vancouver and telling her how her ancestors were very angry with her, how she was living her life, which I've never seen ancestors come forward like pissed to tell her about her. Yeah, I don't even know if I mentioned it, but the gist was there was so much darkness with Tarek that you could not even barely see there was a person there, and he was kind of standing in it, and then she walked into it, and this was years ago, like 4 years ago. She went right into darkness. So yeah, her main thing is drug dealing, but she's taken it. She went out and she learned her herbalism. When I looked into it, I was like, that's not like some big herb. Yeah, but through it's fucked. She does it, and so does him. So does him. So does he. I speak proper English. Sorry. The guy's out there coaching, and he's doing black magic and dark witchcraft to help manifest. So he's doing that. He was doing that with I said building pyramids on the astral. So someone would go to work with him. He'd put himself on the top of the pyramid, and he'd link light workers, and he'd try to use their energy. And I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck, you gotta be kidding me. And then he'd have audios on YouTube, and the audios would be, they would be saying things like, the part of yourself that protects you, get that to just step aside while you're listening, so you fully listen to what I'm saying in this audio. Just let it go all in there. And I'm going, ooh. And I had warned Jillian about this. I'd warned her. I have literally said to her, look, you're doing this, and this energetically. She knows exactly what she's doing. And she literally was going and doing, she was taking part in the same stuff with him. Knowingly, didn't mind, didn't care at all if it was a bunch of people just being used in a pyramid, trying to energetically. And these are people that are spending thousands of dollars, and they're light workers who are probably like, oh, we want like help with our money. And it looks like this guy is really doing this. Guys, I literally saw a voice note from him, and I literally almost felt like, oh my god, like I can't even go near this. Like I can't go near that energy at all. Like don't go near me. That's the energy. Yeah. Okay, so that's a bunch of stuff there. I'm explaining this because people need to know who they really are, because they have come. I said it about Chelsea Smith and her friends there. You will see on social media, it will look completely just. You will see the posts, you'll see the pictures like, we're laughing in a group, whatever. I'm telling you things I've seen them do, things I know they've done, things they pull towards me, things I've already discussed with, say, friends of mine or teachers of mine. I'm like, look, they're pulling this stuff. I have personally seen huge amount of darkness lift up off of, like, Chelsea when I have put stuff out there to clear. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So she's just right into darkness. And I've talked about I've been saying this stuff because I'm going, no, I'm going to say who they are. My car got kicked with $2,000 worth of damage because of her. Her and four people were involved because of her, that she did it. There was another one. She got her boyfriend involved walking by the one time there was trying to be a little intimidation, and there's the two of them. And I went, wait a minute, how is she trying to get him involved? Because those two, like, she's barely in that relationship, okay? When I first met her, she even said, like, she made it known that she could kind of be out of it, okay? Had been out of it before. Excuse me, I don't mean cheated. Anyways, and then I found out recently, I was like, well, how did she get him she did something sexy for him to get him on board. I don't even want to say on board, to get him to, like, come in with her to go in and pull stuff towards me. And I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I picked up on it. So she wrote out, this is to the point, this is who she is, okay? So she was pulling stuff towards me in the past couple years where, how to describe this? I don't know if I want to get into on this one or another one. I would double check this. She was telling her friends a very small bit of what she was doing. So when you go and you do stuff like when she was doing that, she was making it look like, oh, whatever. She didn't want to make herself look a certain way. I described, like, I have an email that I posted about how she acted. She literally got angry that I wouldn't hold her hand energetically and got up and was pissed. Next, you know, she's telling her friends, I heard it psychically, he needs to move on. And I'm going, what? And they were trying to push me out of Moto Yoga. That was her and Jacqueline Mulick. Because of that, because of that, what came back? Their studio got robbed. Somebody robbed their studio because of what they did. Okay, so this is some of the stuff that has been going on. I'm picking up on all the stuff and all these people and what's going on there. And I made a point. I did say the thing about Brandon's wife because they are faking. They are walking around faking quite a bit. And I'm like, no, if people are willing to pull, they were trying to redirect and dump on people while they slept and cause harm. Tried to like dump on them. But they did not want people to know they were pulling that. They'd do revision. Then they would try and get other people to tune in, hoping you would take shots back to look, so you would look bad. I even felt it psychically wanted me to call them a loser, wanted me to call them pathetic, or some other. There's a couple words. Wanted me to make it look like I was saying something homophobic towards Brandon. I'm not homophobic, okay? I've dated multiple women that had gay brothers. My brother-in-law had a gay dad. His brother's bisexual. I've worked with gay men. I've like I'm not homophobic, okay? So this is spiritual warfare stuff, and it's really kind of, I'm like, what the fuck, when people are literally going, well, we're going to try to make you look a certain way, but while we're trying to attack, we've got a group together to go to try to harm you, and then they're somehow trying to make it look like they're, oh my god, and they're pulling this stuff. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Jillian was getting friends of hers who don't even really know energy that much, like, oh, go and do some spells, pull some stuff at them, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I would be checking. I'd have my hands, like, I'd be checking. I was like, okay, this is everything that they've done. Oh, and they're telling people like this very, very small bit, and I was like, it is to the point. Okay, maybe I'll have to get into it. I go to Karma Yoga. Right across, we're all outside in a circle. There's Chelsea Smith on the one side. Her friend Jacqueline Mulick is across the way, and I'm picking up on she's really uncomfortable. And then I'm picking up on this whole thing of like, okay, what's going on here? Chelsea turns and says something to the effect of, and then her boyfriend paid for some yoga pants of hers and pays for their vacations, and then looks at me, and I'm going, whoa, no, don't be directing that at me. Look at me with that. I took her off of social media at one point because I went, no, she's got a boyfriend, and like what the energy was there. I made a point many times of not pushing back to that. There was definitely a back and forth flirting, and then I kind of went, well, okay, wait a minute, she's got a boyfriend. And first time I met her, one of the first things she said is, I'll walk this path fully open to whatever happens after we talked on the one street corner. And then when I looked at it after, I'm like, no, she's pretty obviously, something said was, hey, I can be available and open to something. And I'm like, she's got a boyfriend. So what I'm saying is, it was to the point that when I went out to do yoga, and that group is called Karma Yoga, I could feel the discomfort from her, really uncomfortable, of this feeling of like, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. I'm like, oh, do you think that she thinks that I'm trying to like pull something there? I'm like, I out loud, like I said it before, of like, whoa, she got a boyfriend. I've said it before. And I did not play back into it when she went to go say, hold my hand psychically. And she got so angry that she turned around. Next thing you know, she's having people try to push me out of Moto. And then that studio got robbed. So I'm having to explain this because of like, this is stuff that has been done towards me. She tried to project in my bedroom before, and different things were like, this was in the past, like 4-ish years, maybe. Yeah. And I had to literally say to her, like, look, you need to work on your boundaries. You were like in the corner of my bedroom, and she was still with that guy. And so whatever she's telling her friends of, he's pulled this or that, I mean, I'm kind of like, I have literally turned around and seen how she was acting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with her? Where she looked like she looked nuts psychically many times, where I went, what is she going through? What is going on here? What the hell? I'm walking my dog and she's just pulling shit at me, or I'm getting a certain look of like, just like, I hate you. Like, she was leaning over. I don't even say that. Like, she was leaning over the desk at Moto in Sherwood Park, like leaning over, pressing, and there was just a cloud of red of her anger when I wouldn't hold her hand and wouldn't play into it. And I remember I was laying there and it's just like, this isn't a bit like, I was there to clear stuff, okay? And I come around the corner and I'm like, great, I need to walk through that. And there she is, just the dirtiest fucking look, eyes are like bulging overhead and just like this at me. I'm like, and she did that more than once. That's not the only time. To the point I was flashing it at her friends to explain, look, your fucking friend went right into darkness. She's doing this, this, and this. You need to fucking yeah. And I've had enough. I've had enough. This is stuff people pull towards me with dark witchcraft. I sent stuff, yeah. I've literally sent stuff to explain to different people. Like, this is how fucking crazy it is. I literally am having to full on go on here and make a video so people in that group will hear, wait a minute. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot more their friend has pulled than they realize. Okay? A lot more. And it's kind of fucked when I told a guy what Jillian did, and then I find out and I hear this, oh, well, that's not my experiences. I've only had positive experiences. It's like, oh, wait a minute, she slept with him, right? Something sexual happened there, right? It's interesting. Multiple women in these groups being willing to use sex to try to get some power control there. Chelsea was going to flash me psychically, literally was going to flash me and even try to get friends to do it. And I said, when she went to do it, I said, don't do it. Don't. I don't want her to do that towards me. Tried to make it look like I was on top of her sexy, her legs really open. And I literally, with all the shit she's pulled, I was like, don't. Like, I'm feeling to me, I was pissed, absolutely pissed, because she wanted to make me look that way. She tried to make it look that way towards me. So it'd be like, look what he's doing. Yeah, tried to grab my chest psychically without my consent when I was like out in the area, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I hear this like, no, do it, but like do it, like really quiet, like do it back, like do it back. And I'm like, what the fuck? So someone would be watching, so it would look a certain way. All these people I've mentioned, they really care about, oh, as long as we look like Brandon and his wife want to fake like crazy. Brandon's gay. For fuck's sake, he's gay. I said it before multiple times what I've seen there. It is like insanely obvious, okay? And I'm saying these different things, explaining it fully because they want to fake. And I'm explaining the level of how fake some of these people are. They want to fake like crazy. And birds of a feather flock together. So Brandon, his wife, Chelsea, Jacqueline Mulek. Fake people. In some way, shape, or form, there's a lot of fakeness there, and I have seen it. I've really seen it. So when they go into their darkness, all the shadow, all that sort of stuff comes up, and I'm like, oh great, oh wow, they actually went to that point. Jack recently went and did one where she had intention to look like an old, like a narcissist who pushed abuse towards me. She used intention to be like, oh, you're gonna look at this video. If you look at my video, you'll like pick up on that. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Specific sock. Oh, go and find a pair of yoga pants that looked like hers. Go find some socks that would look like hers. Go wear like just like a baggy white t-shirt with that and use intent behind it. They would be using a lot of intent. So I haven't fully explained that here. So through intention, okay, you could take someone that looks on the surface of like, oh, that's not a big deal, but then you're kind of like, use intention behind it. Okay, I'm going to use intention that I want, when you look at this, I want you to pick up on, and then you kind of come up with something. Maybe it's going to bother you. Something in here is going to do one of these at you. So other people will look at it and they'll be going, oh, what do you mean? It's just a post. You're like, no, they were intentionally trying to cause harm. That's what was done. So they would abuse intent. Brandon and his wife are extremely, they do this quite a bit. I picked up on this, and I believe they're not the only one. Yeah, I noticed that years ago of like, well, those two are like really manipulative, and they were using a lot of intent. You can feel it. If you can pick up on energy, I could literally almost just like feel it. I was like, oh wow, I can like feel their intent. Oh wow. So that's the thing. There's like, okay, you're seeing it physically, then there's the intention, there's the energy, what the energy is saying. The energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. So yeah, they literally, man, yeah. I'm literally explaining who they are. Yeah, who these people are. Amber Colbert on medical EI dealing drugs while pushing that abuse at her boyfriend. And when I say abuse, what I pick up on is she would try and hurt him a bit during something sexual. and she did this with multiple men. This isn't one guy. She would try to hurt them a bit and want them to give up power to her, wanting them to give up power that caused them hurt. And then, so dealing drugs on medical EI, acting like that with her boyfriend. So that was sexual. So it's sexually abusive. Then she'd be verbally and emotionally abusive with him too, and was yelling at him. And I already mentioned that, and like going on about him and his dick and him as a man. And I've thought about like how to explain that. Do I list this off what I've seen certain people do, women, and then go, don't say it's a woman, and then go, okay, go over here. Now see this? This is the woman that did this. So people go, oh shit. It seems like there's people that are pulling stuff towards men that's really abusive. And if you just go, holy shit, and then you go, oh, by the way, there was a woman that did that. That's when people might go, oh my God, what? Yeah. The level of stuff I've seen Amber and Dylan, I've said, and the one at Sook multiple times saying about not giving consent and saying directly, like, I don't consent, didn't care about pushing something sexually, just didn't care. A lot of these people that I mentioned, just, they knowingly did not care about going into darkness. I said it before, and I have no issue saying that I've hit back at different people spiritually, where I've had enough, where I'm like defending myself. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to be abused. I'm not ever going to have that. Oh, I'm serious. Like, who else? The one in Sook and downtown Victoria, Kentucky, and the one named Elise, both directly tried to do warfare through stuff around sleep towards people. They tried to hurt people with that. Amber has messed with that. So has Jillian. So has Chelsea Smith, Jacqueline Mulek, Brian Jacobs, and Heather Glazer. Yeah, I said that in another video. So out of this, it's people that have gone in. Yeah, I don't. It's tough because, okay, I'm not giving an out to anybody of like, oh, but they just went into darkness. No. Oh, no. They're like oh my God. That piece of shit in Sook, her name's Elise Renouf, is about, she's a narcissist. And Jillian identifies as a narcissist. I need to name that too. Okay. That's a big one that has not been said. And one of her friends, who was a mutual friend, actually knows what it's like to be abused by narcissists. She's been abused by two. I sent her a message of how she's acted. You know what I got back? They tried to manipulate it with the account. It was a message that came from Amber Colbert, Jillian Wisborg, and their friend Monica, that they tried to manipulate. That didn't come from the girl. I was like, what the fuck? I looked at it and I was like, no. What the hell? Completely tried to manipulate it. And this is somebody, I know it wouldn't have been what was said, because I went, wait a minute, I've helped that person, well, some pretty big stuff. I've helped them in the past before. I've really helped them, and I'm kind of like, they wouldn't be acting like that. So Universe Source, all this stuff I'm mentioning right now, I want you to make sure all the light workers know who did this, what they've done, and any revision they've done about it. I want their friends, their family to know, their teachers, and their students to all know. Is there anything else? Heather and Brandon were teaching yoga teacher training. They were teaching yin. They were doing that before. So yeah, anyone involved in that, I want them to know too. They should know. Because who knows what they're saying to their friends and who else, any of these people, what they're coming up with. Is there anyone else I want to mention this with? And like I said, I don't have an issue mentioning that I definitely defended myself against different people pulling this. When you literally see people get together and somebody goes into a group and starts, like Chelsea kind of being the one that all of a sudden she's got different people together, and you're kind of going, what the fuck? Like, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I clearly put stuff out there and cleared the darkness. The one in Sook, Elise Renouf, was trying to merge with people's throat chakras and trying to abuse them like that. Tried to abuse their sleep. I already said the thing about talking sexually, but like she offered her son up multiple times. Yeah, to be raped. She did. And her kid was 4 years old at the time. She did do that. This double check this with the universe, okay? Like she literally was full on saying it, talking about it. Oh yeah. Sorry. And yeah. Okay, that fly needs to go. Yeah, saying it, talking about it. Okay, what is this, 30 minutes? Yeah. So, universe, source, anyone I mention this, I want all their friends, their family, their teachers, their students to know they were doing this. And I want all the lightworkers to know, including things they revised with this. So everyone knows what they were pulling. Thank you.